Howdy, hombres! My name's L.A.zy, and welcome all back to the letter. We're still in Hannah's little chapter, and she is here chatting up Zachary, and she pretty much met the ghost as well, whether it be through her dreams, through the mirror, or through various paintings. But I can't wait in anticipation, because it depends how this goes. Either one of them could meet a gruesome fate. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. What about the relationship tree? What do we have? Nothing's changed, so let's go back. And although we just met, Zachary is the sort who could probably befriend anyone. He's just a comfortable person to be around with. A bit too comfortable. The photo shoot went by a breeze, and somewhere along the way as we talk and laugh, I found myself getting a bit too close without realizing. He'll give me this strange look until I back off, and he'll go back to asking questions after I agree to do his little interview. And it's just odd. Well, no, me being friendly isn't that odd. That's how I am. Zachary's the one that's being odd. Why anyone else would absolutely welcome the extra attention I give them? He, on the other hand, looks almost flustered about it. He should be used to different personalities by now, having to deal with various people when he works. And if not, he needs to start. Perhaps nobody has shown him the attention of this kind, but he's a big boy. He should be able to handle me. All it is a friendly touch here, a pretty smile there, a gentle swing of the hips as I move around. Zachary grew and grew more red every time he noticed. Am I being mean as I find enjoyment in seeing him unravel? Perhaps. Swans during the interview and beyond that. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing, right? Zachary and I are just having playful, friendly chat while enjoying the outside view. At least that's how I see it.
I'm sorry, but I'm really getting distracted.
Oh boy.
Could you maybe stop doing that?
Stop? Let's stop it for his sake. I mean, come on. He's a swell little boy. Well, not little boy, big boy, but he's a swell guy.
I'll stop if it makes you uncomfortable, sweetie.
There we go.
Sorry.
No, I should be the one apologizing. Why, you're a shy one, aren't you, big guy?
It's not that, but...
He gestures to the ring on my finger and lets the fact of the matter hang heavily between us. Being told implicitly that I'm too forward is not a common occurrence. I think I'm more stunned at the fact that he pointed out rather than, being rejected. Not that anything is going to happen between us in the first place. It's just going to be some harmless flirting, right?
So, you've never had a girlfriend?
No. No boyfriend either. You know, just in case you were gonna ask for that one next.
And you haven't even had your first kiss?
Not a one, ma'am.
Do you want to have your first kiss today?
Oh, come on. Stop. Stop flustering the poor man. Come on. Can't help it. I really can't. I'm going to apologize lots later. Surely, by the catty smile on my face, it is obvious I'm just pulling his leg. The laugh I fail to contain certainly gives it away if it still isn't obvious. But still, he lights up in embarrassment, stammering up and sputtering objections.
You're married, and this will be extremely unprofessional.
I never said I would kiss you, silly. Oh, Johans!
Are you serious?
No, what? No! Don't call your butler. She's Hannah!
That would be for the better. I don't think his husband would appreciate it if I made him kiss another man.
Oh my goodness.
I do not think he can hear us from here either. But it is hard to think you're not taken, Zachary. Why, whoever becomes your girlfriend will be so lucky to have you. You can cook and take wonderful photographs. Wonderful meals and wonderful memories.
I can play guitar too.
You can? Oh my. Wonderful serenades as well then. Perhaps I can find a young lady who deserves a fine, strapping young gentleman like yourself.
Hannah, come on. You're being too kind here.
Let's not get carried away. Besides, I gotta be going. It's getting late and I got someplace else to be.
A shame. I will be expecting you again soon, I hope. For a copy of my photographs, yes?
Of course. I'll even deliver them personally. Just, don't try to make me kiss your butler when I drop by.
Oh my goodness, Johans. As fate would have it, the very moment the words leave his mouth, Johans came out of his house. Judging by the slight raise of his eyebrows, he has heard only the tail end of the sentence.
There shall be no kissing of any butlers under this roof, Danke.
That typical, lens shine that
But you are not
Yes.
under a roof, are you, Hansi?
To my amusement, he takes a step back, safely placing him within the threshold of the foyer and under the roof of the house. Just as ever, he was quick to return with a sardonic reply.
I am now. As I was saying, madam, it's about time for supper. Will I be needing to set an extra place at the table?
Oh, what? No, I was just leaving, actually. So, you have a good night, Hana. And you too, Hansi.
Nancy.
It was nice to meet you, Zach, honey. You have a safe trip.
He nods, and the grin on his face as we say our goodbyes is the sweetest I have ever seen. I linger, looking out for him with his relatively tiny bicycle backpack safely secured in the basket by the front and suitcase hooked onto the back. I watch as he went down the path back to Anston Village until he's nothing more than a blip in the horizon. Not help a small smile on my face as I go inside for supper. Entering the dining hall caused me so much confusion. It is dark. For a moment I thought the electric work was not up to par, but that clearly is not the case, as every other room is bright with artificial light. Okay, so there's the photo shoot. Hannah and Zachary Steele, a freelance photographer from Luxury Living, Interior Design magazine. Zachary was tasked to interview Hannah and take pictures of the mansion and its new owners. It should have been a professional meeting and ended up being friendly, perhaps too personal. Well, definitely. Finding the light switch is a monumental task considering the size and my unfamiliarity with the room. To make matters worse, the darkness grants the room a different atmosphere, eerie and frightening. It takes longer than I thought to find the switch, something that will have to be rectified later on. My skin starts to prickle and there is a distinct feeling of being watched. It unsettles me and only spurs me on my search. Don't tell me the ghost is gonna appear this early already. When I do open the lights, there's a hiss.
I'll turn the lights down, woman!
Oh, thank God. Green wine? What the hell are you drinking? There at the end of the hall is my beloved husband with his face in one hand and a glass in the other. Perhaps I can let it go if there's only one glass of wine. However, I can feel myself go livid after seeing the toxic green liquid gleam mockingly at me. I don't think I've ever seen wine green. What the hell kind of wine is it?
Luke, what? Are you drinking absinthe?
Absinthe? I heard gin, I heard wine, I heard champagne, I heard cider. But absinthe? What the hell is that?
You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke. Are you actively trying to kill yourself? Because if you are, we can just hit you with a bloody car.
Honeybee, Buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch, not too strong. Just hair of the dog that bit me. Helps with the hangover, dearest.
You drank? When?
This morning, love. Don't be mad. I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons. And maybe I had one too much. You don't see me whinging about you leaving me to handle them on my own.
I had to attend the photo shoot and interview with Luxury Living. You know that. Let's not make this about me, Luke. This is about you and your drinking problem and...
Oh, I don't know, Hana, darling. What if my drinking problem, as you like to call it, is linked to you? If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you.
Oh my God, can you be any more insufferable?
That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that. You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey. I was informed the moment your little interview was done. So, what was it then, What were you doing?
Do I lie to him? Do I be honest? He doesn't really need to know because he's kinda on edge.
I was just tending to the garden, sweetie.
You were?
For a moment he looks skeptical. I can tell by the gleam in his eyes and the way he sits up in the attention. So Luke is with a plus now. Hopefully we'll avoid anything. He thinks I'm lying. But I see no point in bringing up Zachary and aggravating him. I did tend to the gardens for a bit, so it's not a complete lie. Just a little white lie. Besides, I know just how to please him. Sauntering over and circling around him and placing my fingers on his shoulders. Let's have a little groan before melting like butter as I massage his shoulders.
I had to make sure they didn't ruin your favorite daffodils.
Oh, that is wonderful.
I'm not sure if he means the massage or the flowers, but I'll take it. This is better than the fight.
So, absinthe.
Just one glass. Loosh.
I suppose I can let this one go. A bit too late anyway. You've already drank half the
Already
thing.
half.
But remember your doctor's orders.
Yes, I'll try to drink less.
He looks so evil in that dialogue portrait.
Try.
Hey, I'm only human. Do you want one?
No, thank you.
Supper is spent in silence with nothing but the occasional sound of silverware. Grand feast has been served, well, grander than usual anyway, most likely due to Luke's complaints of stress. A platter of native oysters for stars, and tranche of turbot with purple sprouting broccoli, lemon capers, and anchovy sauce for mains. Special off, black tea and golden syrup sponge pudding with custard. Oh man, fancy living means fancy foods. When our appetites are appeased and plates are cleared away, Luke stands, kisses me goodnight, and leaves me to stare at my half-empty cup. Lonely in the fall of night, I sit in the house too big and too empty, foreign and unwelcoming. Even with its warm tone, homely decor feels cold. So no need for tears, however. I know I can get through this like every other obstacle I have faced before. This is a minor setback in what I hope will be a long, happy life. To remind myself this place is for Luke, for our future children, fills me with a renewed vigor. Besides, looks like someone's having a cry already. Oh no. The wailing is far away and muffled, yet at the same time shakes me to my very core as I hear it. As if the suffering is just standing right beside me. Hearing it sends a chill down my spine and makes my skin prickle with goosebumps. Who is that? Oh boy. What do we got? During supper, Hannah found Luke drinking absinthe and caused an argument. While Hannah was angered by her husband's drinking problem, Luke was suspicious of his wife's activities, having not seen her whole afternoon. Okay, I understand that. Curiosity sinks as it follows a sorrowful sound into the kitchen, into a wine cellar hatch.
Hello? Is anybody down there?
Oh my god, don't open it! I'm curious and concerned. There is no way I'm going into the dark and human underground. Not as enthusiastic as Luke concerns himself, quite the connoisseur. However, I also can't bring myself to go to bed with this racket going on. Don't open it, please. If it's one of the household help, then we surely need some talking. After all, this wouldn't be the first time I've gone and found one of the maids sobbing their eyes out over one thing or another, especially as their staff are, they're still human. More often than not, it was either Johannes or I who calmed them down. It would help them figure out how to go on about with things. Fortunately, I'm not in high spirits right now, so I'm not wholly benevolent. Let's not risk opening it. And up 3 times. Waiting for any sort of reply yields me no results, and I've already touched the floor hatch far too many times than I would like. Take a deep breath, reaching out against whoever's inside. I learned from experience that people respond better to kindness than threats, shouting angrily and not helping and coaxing them out.
You, in the cellar? Do come out. We don't want Luke waking up and finding you in there, do we? That man would go ballistic thinking someone was trying to steal his precious wine.
Still nothing.
You can have a good cry. Just not in there, yes? Why don't you come out here and we can have a cuppa and you can tell me all about whatever it is you're bawling about?
How long I am standing here, however, I'm starting to think myself as a fool. I don't want to acknowledge the other feeling I have, especially as the wailing took a new return. The thought of being played didn't sit too well with me. I had to stop myself from getting too hot-headed as I try one more time.
Now you come out of there! That is an order from the lady of the house, do you hear me? Why, I ought to...
I freeze as a hand clamps down on my shoulder. The dread I've been feeling all this time makes itself known as I kneel, unmoving, not even daring to breathe. I feel my heart pounding against my chest. The touch is gone, as quickly as he had seized me. Johannes. It's only Johannes. I see what look back.
Apologies, madam, for touching you like that. You were not responding to my voice, and you looked about ready to wake the whole mansion up.
I was... I'm sorry. I was getting rather loud, wasn't I? But that crying woman in there, we must do something about her.
He goes silent for a moment, just looks concerned. At least the elected interpreter is concerned, given how stoic our head butler usually is. Rather, must have been concerned as he takes off the glove and presses the back of my The back of his hand is my forehead for his worsening inquiry.
I beg your pardon. What? Crying woman? Are you feeling well, madam?
In the cellar. Can't you hear her?
Madam, Hannah, no one is down there.
What?
The cellar is locked. Only Luke and I have duplicates of the keys. Nobody is down there.
I stare at him in disbelief. While listening once more, I hear no crying. Looking at the hatch for good measure, prove his words to be true too. The thing won't budge unless I have the keys, short of using power tools on it.
Perhaps it is time for you to go to bed, madam. You are simply tired and hearing things, a perfectly normal human experience. But if you are still experiencing auditory hallucinations in the morning, you are free to consult with me.
There is a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach as he helps me up to my feet. What he says makes sense, and who am I to question someone who used to be a doctor? I'm just tired, that's it. A long day of moving, the interview, dealing with Luke, that has all drained me of any proper sense.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I just need some sleep, that's all.
Of course I'm right. Go on then. Gute Nacht.
Gute Nacht.
Good night, Johannes. Good night, house.
Okay, I see what you did there. I swear to God, if she starts crying again, it's just fatigue. That's what I keep telling myself, although I can't ignore the strange feeling in my gut. Either there's something wrong with this house, or there's something wrong with my head. Sleep will be elusive tonight. To between you, grinding. Luke's already gone by the time I rise. There isn't a single hide nor hair of him to be found, and trying to call him on the moment is a bust, as it only goes straight to his voicemail. It's twice in a row he's gone on me. And then the spirit day of all days, it's very upsetting because of what's to come. The morning is once again filled with a whirlwind of activity. Fortunately, I'm much more refreshed as I took a break from my responsibilities. I had the faintest clue where Luke was yesterday. It is going to be a busy day, although unlike Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now, absent once again from his duties. Hopefully he'll be back in time for the party. This is our house after all. A grand housewarming party for the wonderful Wright mansion. Every person of importance from Luxembourg is invited. There will be a few guests flying in as well. Of course, there will be some people from the media along with friends and acquaintances who are made no less important, regardless of their status in society. Marianne is back. Miss Uptight herself. Marianne and I discussed the business and last-minute touches of the house before finalizing everything. Not that there is much change from our original plans. Barring a huge addition to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Well, I can't take all of the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the Wright mansion.
Definitely.
There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Luke and I had a small tiff about making the second bedroom to a child's playroom, which I insisted is completely practical. In the end, he had to be acquiesced. I didn't give him any choice in the matter. When I read this, I probably figured out that I'm pronouncing some of the English words wrong. And poof. I just want to apologize because I never bothered to find out what's the proper pronunciation for each word. I even brought this wonderful wooden crib from the antique store yesterday, including some toys, just in case anyone brings their baby, of course. Besides, I have little need for actual guest rooms. We hardly have guests who spend the night. We absolutely have to. We often choose to foot the bill for their visit on one of our hotels instead, always at Luke's own insistence. And on the off chance that we actually let someone stay, the bedroom in the opposite wing is still up to the task.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
No, I did not agree to him having a helipad.
All right, then. Well, do we have any other concerns? Anything we need to put on our agenda before the party commences?
No, I don't think so. Not unless Luke has anything else to say.
Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his request right away, considering the scope of his usual ones.
Around? No. Where is he? Who knows where? I don't.
No, he's not around.
She didn't have to point out the obvious now, did she? After 7 long years, they'd already gotten used to him. I should be by now. Still not, apparently.
But don't you have a party?
I want nothing more than complain to whinge about how unfair this is. I However, airing out one's dirty laundry is taboo among high society. Do so will make you a ripe target for the next dinner party chit-chat. Vultures, to lot of them, really. Or most of them, at least. There are always good ones like L.A.zy. You'll put your trust in the wrong person and you'll find yourself eagerly picked apart. L.A.zy. Is that like Rose?
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see.
Can't really tell.
That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
Perhaps I'm being a bit too rash, a bit too hot-headed in divulging details, but I thought myself clever with the plan to dress it up as gossip. Marianne's raised eyebrow makes me unsure whether she's interested or not, although that does make things better if she has no interest and therefore has no hidden intent to utilize whatever I might say to her.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch.
Really never heard about it?
His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband, but it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...
Be honest with me. I mean, you can do that.
Be honest with me, Marianne. I don't need someone to sugarcoat it.
Hey, plus with Marianne. Good.
I'm not some fragile thing that I'm just going to break down at the slightest thing.
She hesitates, taking a sip of her coffee while staring into my own cup of tea. Silence stretches on. I almost believe that she would never answer my question. I suppose I shouldn't blame her, putting her in a tight spot like this. Hesitation is understandable, though I loathe to admit it. She simply wants this whole thing to stay professional. And then she speaks.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
It's my turn to hesitate now. I really didn't expect such a straightforward question. To get to the heart of the matter, I suppose I'm not as clever as I like to think. Or is it really that bad an outsider can see our little marital troubles? Surely we're not that obvious, are we? We put up the act of a perfect couple for years, although it hadn't always been an act. Marianne's just more than an average person, of course. It's a necessity to her career and she's been working so closely with us. Yeah, that's it.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But, if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else. Someone who won't even give him the time of the day. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. That's just my 2 pence worth, of course.
So you're saying they should divorce?
Nothing as drastic as that. If they're afraid that it might lead to just that, then maybe that is what's meant to happen in the first place. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives. But it's just a short hiatus is all. Or, couples therapy? Look, I'm really not the best person to ask about relationships, so grain of salt and all that.
She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. It is calm despite the nature of what she said and discussed. To say that her words made me start to think is an understatement. To say I'm not considering her advice is a lie. To say that this might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Others have shorter marriages, yes, but plenty have celebrated long, happy ones as well. My own parents celebrated their quarrel anniversary before they passed away. But 7 years? 7 years isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. It isn't a whole lot of time to see what and where a relationship can bring us. At the same time, 7 years. Well, it hasn't been entirely made up of happy years, has it? It will last forever. It's not supposed to anyway. I just dread the thought that it might last a very long time. I dread the thought that these small spats, these disagreements, will turn to an old resentment. The idea that we grow to hate each other, and every fiber of our being scares me. I can't even pinpoint the exact moment where our blissful union turned sour. Story updated. When did we start to seek other women, lacking any ulterior motives? When did we start to cooperate only to our materialistic greed and attention-seeking ways? Money and success, fame and glamour. Are those the only reasons we still stay together? This is a call before Marianne clears his throat. It's been quiet for so long, and I move to apologize when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit back down or not.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies.
This professional has her own set of
Busy,
things.
busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the L.A.zy at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
Okay. Scene outside the parlor is a great organized mess. What does the journal say? Hannah and Marianne were seen discussing the mansion's finishing touches before the housewarming party. On the whim, Hannah asked for Marianne's opinion about a certain couple having marital problems. It leaves the former with something to think about after the latter excused herself from attending the party. Undiscovered journal entry. Just want to see the branching tree real quick. Okay, so with this is Bella, we got 56% of the route. 22. Whoa. Okay, so we're kind of here. Common route, story update. Be honest with me. Whoa, there are a lot of like ways here. Jesus. Aside from our own household help, we hired the service of the temp agency, which provides staff for Right Enterprise in the hospitality sector. Even our very skilled staff can undertake a party this size on their own. Waiters, busboys, hostesses, and their staff captains move about in droves, carrying crockery and silverware good for several dozen people, and then some. Chefs and bartenders tail about after Johannes, looking like scared little children as he escorts them to the kitchen into the wine cellar. To peruse the stocks, select what can be served at the party and what can be used for cooking.
Schnell! We have a lot to do, and I believe we did not hire snails.
Schnell!
Snails are for the dishes.
The string quartet readies up to play for the evening, tuning their instruments as they fill the air with idle chatter. The floor of the core, where thousands fill vases, wreaths, and baskets. White wall petals are scattered along the driveway up front. That is an awesome cake, and that is a very cool figurine. An ice sculpture of a reindeer is brought in carefully by a pair next to a cake. It's followed by a simple cake, just 5-tier white chiffon, one with white chocolate mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting of edible gold leaf. Yeah, of course, it's a simple cake for you rich folks. Us poor people could dream about a cake like that. But despite the fact that I told Mary Ann how I will attend to all of this, I find myself unable to focus or care for any of it. I still have our discussion running in my mind, looking at all of this, only I see Luke everywhere. These are all these grand things Luke wants to have for the party. I want to have a small, elegant, and simple gathering, with only a select few invited, mainly the people who I actually trust to enter my home. I don't want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how used I am to catering them.
At least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
The entire thing screamed Luke right. I can't help but add another question to my growing list of queries. When did I lose myself? It's always about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? I used to be my own woman who made her own name, her own career, and her own decisions. Surely I was already the social butterfly that I still am today. But it wasn't all empty, shallow gossip, and sin and pretty. I was also lauded for my knowledge and talent. The finance manager wasn't just handed to me just because my father owned the company. I insisted that I start at the bottom so I could work my way to the top and prove myself. And I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money and accounts, analyzing the competition and market trends. There was the calculation of financial risk, cost reduction opportunities, auditor liaison, and public relations, supervision of staff, and, well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities. Admittedly, I was already quite the attention seeker even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. Failing that, I turned to others, looking for praise from anyone who would give it, however fleeting it all was. And Luke. Oh, Luke, the way you looked at me, the way you watched me and took a genuine interest, had me disgustingly obsessed since day one, hasn't he? He saw me for me, Hannah Evans, above my faults and my achievements. The man didn't treat me like some dancing distress or some prize to be won. I remember the nights before we were married, where we talked about everything and anything, from big things like business, society, and philosophy to little things such as what we have for breakfast or whether we like cats or dogs more. We both prefer dogs. Nowadays, I'm just Luke Wright's wife. It's mostly my fault, isn't it? He told me that husbands prefer wives who are docile and subordinate, a woman who will always be there for him, yet would never outshine him in all aspects except beauty. A wife needs to be at home and attend to his needs, to have children, to take care of them in his absence. They said I have no business working anymore after I was married. I can blame society, but I listened. Before I can fall further into this introspective pit of self-loathing, someone calls for my attention.
The guests have arrived, madam.
And Luke?
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
Late for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him. Open the doors, then. We mustn't tarry.
Cars line up the driveway, peppering the front of the mansion with vehicles of every kind. Grand tours, supercars, even the odd high-end muscle car or two, convertibles, grand saloons, and other luxury cars can be seen parked by wallets. A handful of cabs drives off, possibly for those who thought it was too troublesome to bring their own cars. At least 2 different media events as well. All here for what may be considered the biggest event of the year for Luxborn. So far, who knows what we'll plan for the winter holidays.
Welcome everyone. Please, make yourselves at home.
Some of the guests either enjoying the warmth of now strange sunshine or experiencing before gloomy skies never really return. They greet acquaintances and friends with warm smiles, others less so. From where I stand, I can see the hierarchy of power that ties to bind these individuals here, whether through convenience or necessity. However, there are also a few who are not here to further cement their current place in high society. Ashy, my boy! What the hell is the detective doing all the way here? Such as that young man with the oriental air, and the ignorant little looks he receives from a woman and man alike.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Oh, I forgot her name. Damn, what was her name? Shit, I sincerely forgot. Damn it. What that rose-haired woman talking on her phone? She was unsure of why she's here exactly.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
Zachary's here. I see Zachary, the photographer, as well. Talks to a few of the other media crew with an air of familiarity.
I was just here a few days ago, yeah. And the inside is huge, but the staff are pretty helpful if you get lost.
I invite Father Norman, too. It's the least I can do after he blessed the mansion on my request. Aside from my small donation to the church, of course. Oh yeah, we could use the priest to bless this house. So she actually did for him. A couple episodes later. But the poor man had taken ill and went through a nervous breakdown of some sort the other day. And then there are people like Chief Inspector, people who can never be too sure about. People who stand on the board between being suspicious and being trustworthy.
Thank you for the invite, Anna.
Just a quick one. I need to see what her name is. Rebecca, that's her name. God damn it, I can't believe I forgot about it.
Husband still missing, I see.
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again?
She told me she'll just be in the gardens. Bet she's lying and that she's somewhere around mingling, gossiping with the other ladies.
Could be.
It's no offense, but that seems to be all you ladies do at these parties.
And aren't you gossiping right now?
Yes, well, what about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing. Don't tell me, let me guess. He's finally drunken himself to death and not wanting a scandal, you've hidden his body. I was wanting to give this housewarming gift to him personally, too. It's a plate that holds a wine glass so he can stop killing himself with liquid lunches. Looks like it's too late for that.
Nothing like that. Besides, this is a hardly polite conversation.
Oh, relax. I'm just trying to be cheeky to lighten the mood. It's not like I want Luke dead.
So, I'm pretty much guessing this old place of Luxembourg is somewhere around UK. Because there's so many British-like people around here. Or it could be just one of the states in America. I mean, there could be British people hanging around there for all I know.
The man doesn't serve dodgy plonk like the others when I visit, and he pays his respects well enough. I could use a glass of wine or 3, actually. Michelle's been in a horrid mood. Threw her stilettos at me the other day and almost took an eye out. Not sure if this is how it usually goes, but I blame the pregnancy.
I wouldn't know, would I?
Still no plans for a baby? Well, I guess that's for the best. If it's this bad now, I can't even imagine how bad it'll be when that little baby bump becomes huge.
Have I mentioned how I don't trust him no matter how hard I try to do so? At least he brought a gift, I suppose.
Why don't you just go inside and have some wine, Lee?
Think I will, thanks.
Greetings such as these carry on as the guests continue to trickle in. Whether we have short conversations or merely shake hands and nod heads, make sure to attend a multi of each of them. As the first hours passes by, the rest of the strangers and I join to the ballroom. Any latecomers will have the attention of the tour instead. I've introduced the attentive now. The ballroom in its old glory. Hosting parties is always the same old song and dance, no matter how big or small it is. Make sure your guests are well fed, have a good company, have them, and generally enjoy themselves. So my opening remarks are done, and the band has started to play, and the guests have started eating. I find myself wandering around aimlessly unless I'm pulled aside. For a while, I stay with a small group to entertain them before excusing myself. And when they're not anymore watching me, I end up watching them. When they don't listen, I do. The local banker's having trouble with his daughter. He wishes to marry her off, but she wants nothing more but to make music. Another hotel manager is worried about stolen belongings of one of his patrons, a failing insecurity which will be brought up to higher authority soon. Our mayor? Well, his cat died. There's Becca. And there's that rose-haired woman once again. It's hard not to notice her with distinctive locks. She also lacks the grace that other ladies have, but that does not make her any less beautiful. The stance and the air she exudes instead are strong and make her stand out despite her casual attire. Many men have already given her their attention, each invitation to dance has been turned down. I approach intrigued, and although it is no great mystery what occupies her own attention, the glances she keeps sending towards the boy with the oriental hair. She remains unaware though, even as I stand beside her, pretending that I'm there for a drink.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenu, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
There he is. The boy comes over, but I do nothing to speak any softer. He merely passes by and is wondering if he doesn't hear what I say.
Who, Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time. I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend then? Because that would explain those rejections.
Oh boy. All my life I've never seen a face grow red so fast. The shade of her hair does not help as well. This is the most pink I've seen on a person lately.
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Yeah, of course not.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
It's more the latter currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property. I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body there.
The art style of these cutscenes, they contrast a lot of the styles, like in the animation gifts during conversations. I waver as I feel the burning of someone's stares. It's chilling, and though I'm used to enduring the gaze of others, this one makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Her again? You really can't leave us be, can you? It's chilling, and though my My attention is pulled from the girl and I see a woman staring. Dark hair and dirty. She looks like more like a beggar than a guest. That is no beggar, that is a zombie if I've ever seen one. With twitching eyes and a twitching disposition. And I have half the mind to call the security at her when her mouth breaks into a grin. All I hear is her laughing, taunting. Her stares make my blood run cold. I'd probably piss myself and go into shock if I saw a stare like that. She looks at me like I'm nothing but a pig to slaughter for her amusement. It makes my hand shake and I nearly drop my drink. But then in a blink she's gone, and the rest of the party returns.
I'll keep that in mind, but are you all right?
Yes, sorry. I just thought I saw something strange. It must be the trick of the light. Anyway, on a right, as you must already know.
Rebecca Gales.
Gales.
Name is familiar, with fond memory. I recall a kind lady in a crowded tour who treated me like her own daughter when I was young. She would bring me food when there was no need to do so. Usually stories, which I honestly hadn't been thinking about, though I ate them nonetheless because she brought them for me.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way. But yeah, that's me. Little Becky. We met once before.
Yes, oh, I remember you! You were the cutest little thing with glasses!
Oh, really?
And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A. What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele, Albert, Alexander, Andrew?
Adele is a nice name. Adelaide Bernstein. That reminds me a lot of that. The more list off names, the more red and more quiet Becky gets. She starts to look a bit miserable as her body language shows discomfort and stiffness. Thus, I've triggered a horrid childhood memory. Surely I hadn't been mean when she visited with her mother. I don't quite remember all of it.
Ashton! Ash!
That's him!
That man is that boy! The same one. Oh, goodness me, after all these years! I can see why, though. He's quite dashing.
You don't really need to announce it to everyone with an earshot, you know? Keep it down.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
Ah, shit, I didn't mean to do that. And a tad bit sad.
This is a nice party, Miss Wright.
Please, Hannah's fine. We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky. Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
Let's hope we all have it, if I make the right decisions.
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh? And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy
The
ending?
thing is, those happy endings don't last long. And you get jealous of other people having them.
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales.
And they kind of are.
And they are, sorta.
There you go.
I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best.
Well, maybe not that much.
If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it.
It's like she's giving me life advice right now. That's pretty much my position.
But what do I know?
This grimace, although she starts to relax around my presence. How long has it been since we nursed children? Certainly a long time. She was tiny back then, if I recall correctly.
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about. But have you told him how you feel? And it's been what? 20 years?
17, actually. But no, not yet. He can be a bit dense. I was hoping that maybe he'd notice on his own and...
Well, that won't do. What if you two become husband and wife? He's not to be dense when he's sworn himself to another person. Why, you might just as well consider leaving before the day's even begun.
If that happens, I'll have to give him a good ear bashing, won't I? Whoever anyone ends up with, it's not going to be a perfect relationship anyway. There's going to be things you'll love and things you'll hate about the other person. We're just humans. It's funny. Here I am, trying to give you advice when you did the very same thing back then. I remember you giving me a makeover when we were still kids. And you were the first I told anyone about my crush.
I do remember now that she mentions it. Did I give her that yellow summer dress with pink blouse and petticoat? She must have kept some of what I said in mind. I feel ridiculous remembering all of that years later. Talking about boys and how they go crazy for pretty girls, except some gospel every woman should adhere to. It's so easy to say such things then, with me not knowing any better. But looking at her now, she must have kept some of what I said in mind. Perhaps I did say something good at that time, enough for her to take it to heart. Well, that didn't matter in the moment as I mulled over what she just said in my head. Becky told me it's very different from what Marianne told me. There's no time to ponder over that, however. It's hushed since upon the over once lively crowd. Music is strings and the chatter slows to a grinding halt as the doors from the foyer opens. The last of the latecomers should have arrived moments ago. Anyone else this late will simply be too embarrassed to show their face. This can only be one person, or rather one man. Luke? There's only one man who's audacious enough to arrive at his own party so late.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party? I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
Unlike I, who was raised in the spotlight and simply grew used to his presence, he sought out every chance he could, even when there was no spotlight that shone. I'll never put it against him when he smiles like that. He does so quite brilliantly under the scrutiny and channels his showmanship. You can tell by the way people's eyes light up as he speaks, how they listen in rapture, even before he's doing his simple greeting. A little wave of his hands there, a little smile, there and a bit of swagger. I always tell him that if he's not to be a businessman, he can do as well as an entertainer. I love the sight of him, especially when he looks at me, and he beckons me over to humbly share his place. Not a single second was wasted as I excuse myself from Becky's side and make my way to Luke's.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone.
There's a round of applause, cheers, and some hoots. The guest approaches left and right to shake Luke's hand and greet him personally, praises on their lips. It is because of this that I do not see her. I do not see her until she is dangerously close. With fury in her eyes, she is already spitting venom. Johan's restraints are taking care of not necessarily harm the pregnant woman. Who the hell is this? That does little to deter her rage, and the man has no choice but to let her go, unless an unborn child is hurt. Although it might be too late for that as I see an empty glass of wine in her hand. How much is she invited in?
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle?
Rochelle.
Perhaps you need to sit down and...
No! Shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here!
What is her problem?
You bloody bastard standing there with your smarmy smile!
She interrupts me, jabbing her finger in my direction before she rounds on Luke. Even as whispers and murmurs break out among the guests, all I can focus is in the heat of the moment. Obviously intoxicated, judging by the smell of alcohol in her breath. I'm not ticked off about this display of course, at least not yet. I'm absolutely pissed by the fact that she endangered her own baby by drinking. There's a considerable amount of restraint and grace that I must exercise when I wait for the tension to subside. I keep a patient, if tight smile on my face. Luke's expression, on the other hand, is indecipherable.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
I did.
And I told you with great emphasis not to. Now we have a drunk, hormonal, pregnant woman causing a stir. What is even going on?
I'm just about to ask the exact same thing.
I don't know. But Rochelle, do calm down before you hurt yourself. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Where is that husband of yours? Lay! Collect your wife right now!
Don't you fucking talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible, you ass! You told me that I should wait for you in the gardens!
Excuse me. What is this nonsense you're going on about?
Crazy talk! That's all it is! Just completely and utterly mad! Has anyone seen the Chief Inspector?
I am pregnant with your little bastard! You promised me you'll take responsibility!
Oh, adultery?
God damn it, Luke! I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me!
Is that what he's been doing on his trips? What?
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman! Security! Johans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you do not do this to me! I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours. Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby? Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
Oh boy. It's now that Johan's returned with security along with concerned-looking Officer Lee. They surround her and move to escort the hysterical woman. Judging by his pale face, he has heard the whole thing, and I feel nothing but pity for the man.
I'm so sorry for her behavior. She's been under a lot of stress. And the alcohol. Talking nonsense, that's all it is. You're not allowed to drink because of the baby, Shelley. What are you thinking?
Nothing to see here, people. Move along.
Holy shit. Is there really nothing here but the ramblings of a trunk? Yes, that's right. There's no way what Rochelle says is the truth. What she says doesn't match up. I know Luke. Such a scandalous meeting are to be arranged. He won't do in such an exposed place, especially not near his precious flowers. Definitely no promise responsibility over a child unless it can be helped. Besides, Luke will never go as far as sleep with another woman, right? Okay, fine, who am I kidding? If I'm completely honest with myself, he might cheat. A bit of temptation, a bit of alcohol, he just might. Doesn't that just make my blood boil? To even think of the slightest possibility of infidelity. Lee isn't too far off when you told me how Luke still acted like some young hotshot bachelor. It starts to make me think. Becky's words are still fresh in my mind. And I can't help but think that the girl, plucky woman that she is, has a point. If I love Luke, I have to fight for him, don't I? So far I've been doing nothing but sitting on my behind hoping it'll fix itself. This whole mess definitely isn't going to fix itself. How dare that woman try to drag our name and our relationship through the mud with her lies? And my own party. Determination fires me up as I take a step forward into the middle of the fray. All the while she has been screaming. As soon as the security is stopped, and I can already feel the glow on my face as I stare into hers. She quits as soon as she sees me. She starts to grow anxious and her protests die down. I can see her haughty, angry expression turn to a horrified realization. Rightfully so, she should be scared. What's that thing they say again? Never wake a sleeping dragon? I often think that Luke is the one in charge, and he's the one to be feared and appeased. They think me as only the pretty wife, and they forget that I'm just as capable, just as worthy of respect.
I invite you, my friend, into my house on a day of merriment, and you insult my name and accuse my husband of infidelity. What have I ever done to make you treat us with such disrespect? You are no longer welcome in any of our estates, our properties, and our businesses. And we will no longer patronize yours. Now, escort the girl and make sure she isn't standing even an inch within our grounds.
She looks devastated, reasonable. This does make her into a pariah, doesn't it? I should feel concerned, but I can't even find even an inkling of mercy within me. Don't know what her plan was. Don't know what she wanted to make out of this. The money? Luke? It doesn't matter what she wanted.
You won't show your face to me ever again if you know what is good for you, Rochelle. Take her away.
Tension is thick in the air, and the silence that embraces the room is so set that one can particularly hear a pin drop. There are worried and almost fearful glances from some of the guests. They all know this well within my right. She's the one who started this whole dilemma. It just so happens that I'm the one ending it. As long as everyone hold their tongue and don't interfere, none of the consequences matter to me. Especially when my darling looks at me with a different shine in his eyes. It almost seems as if he's proud of what I have done, and that spurs me on more than anything. Nonetheless, I still act upset because this did not change what just happened. He still has a lot to answer to, because even if the woman's lying, there's always an equal truth in every lie. So when I turn on him, I say that the shock he displays brings me gratification is an understatement. Of course, there's no reason to make a husband and wife span to a public spectacle. Some privacy will generate the least number of headaches and complications. Everyone is still far too busy in the ballroom, and most of the staff are still in the kitchen. A sharp glance at everyone will go through the doors, and all it takes to make them retreat. Okay, we're gonna save here. So, infidelity is in play here. Holy wow. I was wondering where the hell Luke was running off in all those meetings. That could have been him just begging Rochelle and getting another child. God damn. But I decided to let Hannah go through with their relationship because, I mean, come on. She obviously loves him so much, and I just can't bear to see them like going apart like this. Even though Luke is an asshole, but never hurts to try to mend their relationship, right? So, without further ado, that's it for this video. Thank you all who watched. Hopefully, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.